We took some trips. Clint took his trip to see the stars, and PJ and I took our trip to Ohio to see the stars of üCamp. See how I did that? Stars. Yeah. So let's talk about our trips. Let's talk about üCamp 2023.
Welcome to the RV Small Talk podcast, where we talk about lightweight trailers, truck campers, and people, places, and adventures they go right along with them. We are your hosts from Princess Craft RV. I'm Clint.
I'm PJ.
And I want to go back to Ohio.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you really?
I do.
Well, I'm going to have to let you tell me why. I've been to Ohio, and about the best thing I can remember about it is, well, actually, there's some good stuff in Ohio.
I know. That's why I want to go back.
If you want to see show notes from this episode or any other episode we've ever done or might do in the future, we'll see if we do some more, go to rvsmalltalk.com. We're also on social media. Look up RV Small Talk Podcast. We're there. And if you like our podcast at all, even if you don't listen on Apple Podcasts, you can go on a computer to Apple Podcasts, look up our RV Small Talk Podcast, and like I said, even if you're not an Apple Podcast user, you can still rate and review the podcast there, and it helps us a lot. So please go and do that. I digress.
Always.
Did you just hint that this might be our last podcast?
No, but I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
I just thought that was funny. It's like maybe an asteroid's going to hit Earth. And
it's been a weird weather kind of year, and
podcast.
There's been a lot of hail, and I could walk outside and one hailstone the size of who knows what falls out of the sky in Round Rock, Texas, and hits me in the head. It could happen.
Hell no.
I mean, but maybe. Right?
Well, I don't know.
It could happen.
Well, if that happens to you, Clint, I promise we will continue to do the podcast without you.
It won't be as good.
You promise? Wow. That means one of us are going to have to learn how to do all the electronic things.
It's nice to know that there's a plan for succession in case my untimely demise.
That we would go on.
Hail to the head.
Do you remember the old skit, the old radio skit, Boot to the Head? Do you remember it?
No.
Oh, okay. Some of our listeners will.
Is it like Chicken Little?
It's a Dr. Demento thing.
I remember Dr. Demento.
And that's one of the skits. Boot to the head. Boot to the head. Anyways, I'll show you later.
No,
Anyways.
tell me the skit.
I can't. I'm not that good. Okay, moving on. Okay, Ohio. Tell me about your trip to Ohio.
Well, getting to Sugar Creek, Ohio, which sounds so idyllic, is a kind of a bear. It's hard to get there. Mm-hmm. So it is an all-day adventure. We left really early in the morning, a couple of flights.
Really?
I picked up Lindsay at 4 a.m.
Can we explain why
in the morning?
The way you do üCamp is different from a standard üCamp goer. The reason why you would be in an airport is because you're not taking your üCamp trailer. You two have been to 4 of these things?
Yeah, we're kind of princesses.
Yeah, and you go differently because most of the attendees are bringing their personal üCamp products from all over the country.
Exactly. I mean, that's what it's for.
Right. It's a gathering.
That's what it's for.
It's a family reunion.
Yeah.
But this way we get to spend more time actually hanging out at üCamp instead of driving there and driving back, which doesn't really make sense because
that would be a lot of time.
That doesn't make sense because PJ's üCamp trailer is already in Ohio. So,
but not always. But this time it was.
Why would we fly? Why would we drive?
But it would take us a few days to get there and a few days to get back. So, we're able to spend 4 days. Mm-hmm. And flying makes more sense.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm more privy to your schedule, and you are busy right up to the time that you have to leave in an airport. If you were driving, you'd have to leave another day earlier. So it just makes sense. Okay. But I digress. It's a gathering. It's the family gathering for as many as they can fit.
That's right. And it started Monday morning, but we jumped on a plane at 4 a.m. on Monday morning. We headed for the airport, got on a plane, jumped another plane, and then it takes about an hour and a half to rent a car in Cleveland. We had the funniest thing happen when we're renting a car. So then it takes, after you get your car, it's a hour and a half, 2 hours to get there from Cleveland.
By car once you're in the car?
By car once you're in the car.
Not by Amish buggy?
No, that would take a little longer. So we took a car.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, but Amish buggy would be kind of nice.
Now you could probably take a good nap.
Yeah.
You have the repetitive going on ahead of you.
Or maybe the honking and the,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Only if someone else is driving.
Sure.
I don't want to do that.
So what happened at the car rental place?
Oh, don't you remember? I
do remember, but you started telling a story and then you stopped.
So I have never gone to the car rental place and them say, okay, thank you, Miss Berger. Here's your car. And gone out, gotten in the car and left. Like never, not once. It's always something. And this time it was the classic, yes, you can find your car in C13. So head on out the door, take a right, and it will be a whatever on your left. So Lindsay and I were like, okay, yay. There was quite a line. We were ready for our car. We get out there and we're both standing there staring at this space, C13, double checking our paper, double checking the sign. There's no car. Right?
Did you try the key beep beep?
Yeah, there was no car. So you don't have the key beep beep. It's the keys are in the car. They're sending you out to get your car.
Okay.
So
keys are in the car. Okay.
Yeah. So, but there's no car.
They like to send me out with the key in hand so I can go key beep beep.
Are you saying we could have taken any car? The keys are in the car?
The keys are in all the cars. No, because we can't get out the door without a piece of paper that matches the car.
Lame.
Yeah, so
They've
we're
thought
standing.
This one through.
So, yeah, somebody thought about that.
So did someone else take the car?
I have no idea what
It doesn't
happened.
matter.
But we were standing there.
Way too long.
Yes, the thing that was weird, which is going to be very anticlimactic here, is that we're standing there looking like doofuses, staring at this empty space, and this car screeches to a stop, and this guy jumps out and says, "You're the princess." We went,
in
what?
Cleveland?
Yes, at the car rental place in the parking lot.
Was he in your car?
No. And he comes over and says, "Can I get a picture with you?" I said, "Well, can you find us a rental car?"
Was he in any way related to the event you're going to attend, or was he just someone in the airport parking lot?
No, he worked for the rental car company.
But he knew who you were?
Yes.
I feel somehow responsible for this.
Yeah, you are.
So
It
at
was
any
awesome.
rate,
He was so nice.
he was very nice. He told us all about him and his wife looking for a trailer and what he wants to do. And
guess what PJ told him?
Oh, what?
We deliver.
We'll bring it to you. Unlike slot C13 that does not have a rental car, we will bring an actual trailer to you. So Lindsay took our picture and he sent us to the booth to chat with them about where our rental car was. And there was nobody in the booth.
Yeah.
So we wandered back in,
So we eventually got a car.
and eventually got a car.
Okay.
But it took...
We haven't even gotten to UCamp yet.
Well,
we're not
it was
doing
just
this
weird.
podcast.
It's okay. You're on Ohio time.
No.
Are we?
I was already in
we?
Ohio. I'm back in Texas now. Let's go.
Okay, so
we should put that picture in the show notes, though.
Sure. So you finally make it to Winklepleck
Park.
Winklepleck Campground.
Winklepleck. We're gonna have to put a link to that.
It's so pretty. It's basically just like really
like a fairground.
Yeah, kind of. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a couple roads that go through it, but everybody. It's not really boondocking. You have power and water hookup, and then they just like drive a truck around and pump your tanks like every 2 days, I think.
And that's
every other
standard
day.
for this place?
Yeah,
but
well,
I think
it's
that
standard for the rally. I don't know if it's standard for the campground.
Yeah, I think the rally. I think UCamp like
developed this campground,
but it's so pretty. The grass is so
beautiful.
green. It's not like Texas grass. And every time I go to Ohio, I have to like just kind of like put my face on it because it's like so soft. There's no stickers.
I've seen here in Texas companies that offer grass painting, and you can paint your grass green.
What?
Yeah, but it doesn't feel the same.
No, it doesn't feel the same.
I need it to feel
you need
like that
quality AstroTurf for that.
Ohio
That's
grass.
just paint your grass green?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our listeners will know what I'm talking about.
I don't know.
No,
I feel
I
like
don't
that's
know.
genius.
Anywho, okay, so
Waste.
green, soft, sticker-free grass in
Yes,
Ohio.
it was so nice. And so then
it was for a brief period of time in the middle of our stay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the weather in UCamp is always
Is there like
nuts.
a plot twist here?
So across the street, there is
A tornado?
basically a cabin. It's called the Glen Haven Cabin.
Okay.
And it's a cabin, but it's on like this big piece of beautiful green rolling
5
hill
acres or
properties.
more.
Sure.
And they set up this humongo tent for eating and events and stuff.
Not a part of the Winkleplex Park? Just
No,
across
it's
from it.
across this little 2-lane road.
And it's a venue that's oftentimes rented or something like
It's
that?
a cabin.
Okay.
And then UCamp puts up like this giant outdoor wedding tent for people to go under when they eat or.
And I think it's a cabin you can rent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cabin you can rent and it's really cute. But that is where the boondockers stay. So the people there's a handful of campers that they can fit in that grass area. And they don't have any hookups. So those are the boondockers. And that's where UCamp had set us up. So we like rolled in and we saw it's just a really beautiful view. And then we're right like at the top of a hill. So you can see like all the way down.
Oh, nice,
It's super
nice.
pretty.
Oh, it is. It's just beautiful
And
there.
PJ's barefoot was there. So that was pretty much the first like thing we did was look at the barefoot. And then I posted on the UCamp group, PJ's here. This is her barefoot. Everybody come look at it. And guess
they
what
did.
happened? They did. PJ was trapped for like 3 hours. And I was literally laying in my trailer, which was about,
10 feet
away with the window cracked.
So you could listen
Just like
in?
listening and just like playing on my phone, just like, ha ha.
And I didn't know. And I am
Special
like,
kind of evil.
wow, what is happening here? So I was trying to be nice. And finally, at some point, I just left because I thought they wanted to see the barefoot that I didn't know Lindsay had posted anything. So I just left everybody there.
What a prima donna.
And then I came back an hour later and they were still there. I was like, whoa.
I mean, to be fair, they did want to see the barefoot.
Yes.
Were there other
Absolutely.
barefoots at the event?
Nope.
Yeah. So
That
it was like,
too.
and so
None.
many people had never seen one before in person.
Yes.
There was a handful of people who were like, what is this? I've never seen this before.
What about heard of it? Yeah, they hadn't heard of it?
I don't-
They're new camp owners?
There were a few people who hadn't
That's
even heard of
wild.
it. But it was so fun. It was definitely like everybody just loved it. Our neighbor,
Mr. Rogers?
Varna.
Rogers?
Varna was camping next to PJ and she was just the sweetest lady. And she knew everything about our campers. And when we didn't have power the first night, because we didn't even have batteries.
Well done.
It's okay.
Yeah.
UCamp fixed it.
I mean,
UCamp
they fixed everything, but
the first night, Verna brought us over some little blow up lamps and flashlights and a
Yeah.
bottle of water.
so sweet.
We were so tired that first night, but then I froze because here's the thing: in Ohio,
It gets cold.
it was like 45 at night,
Nice.
and they gave me 2 blankets, and I was like,
June.
"I'll be fine."
In mid-June.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I kept doing in Ohio. I kept walking around going, "It's June," and it's
cold.
because I just couldn't
Yes.
understand it.
No.
And then everybody
Because
from
it's 100
UCamp.
degrees down here.
Yeah, UCamp kept saying, well, it was 75 last week. And I'm like, that is not helpful.
No, that's
Not helpful
That's
at
a
all.
part of the world that gets true 4 seasons.
Yeah, but this was like
But it's
this
June.
it was summer.
Right.
But
is
we
June.
did have probably 2 or 3 hours in the middle of one of the days that was you could take your jacket off and be okay. And it wasn't raining and it wasn't cold and it wasn't stormy. But that was it. The weather was
Yeah.
treacherous.
This event
Again.
brings weather. It doesn't
It
matter.
does.
Every year.
It's so crazy.
Yep, it's either like mudfest or tornado or hail or
And it was
cold or
was
really
hail
hot.
this time, right?
Remember last year it was like really, really hot.
Yes, like miserable people were dying.
People, nobody died, but
Nobody died. Dying. We were headed there.
But yeah,
it
I
was
guess
so
those
hot.
Ohioans,
Ohioans?
Ohioans.
Ohioans. Ohioese.
Y'all, somebody help us out here.
Anyway,
we don't know.
The good people of Ohio are not used to that hot weather, and it was taking a toll. So
we all brought
and that's where Lindsay starts doing cartwheels through it, like it's 85 degrees.
It's June. Okay, so what are some event highlights for you? Because there were so many events. I'm not about to go through them all, but like, what were your favorite
Did they
events?
have like a schedule that was like multi-pages long?
Oh, yeah. They had this whole booklet that showed everybody's name and what site they were in.
Yeah, crazy.
And their email address or something.
Oh, no, that's a bit
And
much.
then
Maybe not.
it was really fun to see who everybody was, and everybody wore their name tags the whole time, and that was super helpful.
How come they don't do that at our rally?
I know they don't,
I've
but
met some
that
new
was so
campers
helpful.
and there probably is that wear name tags for themselves.
They like,
Yeah, I guess.
Today,
But one of the highlights, I think, that when you think about the New Camp Rally, has got to be food, don't you think? I mean, the food.
I've heard it's heavy.
I think it is.
It's a lot.
I think my favorite UCamp food event this year was when there was a line, probably 100 people long, at least, standing in 45-degree weather. Yeah, it might have been 50-degree weather.
Nah, I don't think it was.
Raining, like heavily raining, standing in line outside
Not
with
under a
umbrellas
tent.
for ice cream.
That sounds like me standing in line for coffee at the Overland Expo.
Did you get a
few weeks
picture
ago.
of that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get a picture of that, Lindsay? Because
Yeah.
it was so crazy.
Was it
but
good
this
coffee?
ice cream.
Ice cream was
It was
good.
so good.
So good.
But PJ and I sat in the car until the line went
Oh,
down.
yeah.
Because we're still going to get that ice cream in 50-degree weather. But
Yeah, but we have been wet for so long because Lindsay and I, one of the things we help with when we're there is we drive golf carts. And they have golf carts that go like across the street so people don't have to walk from the back of the campground to the venue across
and you
the
can
street.
kind of make conversation.
And we
it's my
chat.
favorite. It's my favorite thing to do at UCamp is drive the golf carts because you get to like talk to so many different people. Everybody's excited and happy.
Yeah.
And then you drop them off and then you get new people.
It's a perfect length conversation every time.
Exactly. It was so fun, except for when it's cold and rainy. So we have been cold.
And there's no windshields.
Driving in the rain with no windshields.
No poncho?
So at the front, well, we had
Not
one
until
night
10
that-
o'clock at night we put trash bags on.
Yeah.
Y'all need
blankets
feet
over
sacks.
our heads with trash bags over the blankets. We do have a picture. Put it in the show notes. It's really adorable.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I didn't feel bad sitting in the car waiting for the line to go down because after that, we went upstairs to the Try My Baloney event.
That sounds okay.
Okay.
The Amish allow
yeah,
this?
you heard it. Try My Baloney was the name of this.
So I had never even heard of trail baloney until last year at UCamp when
I don't know what trail baloney
Me
is.
neither. Okay, so
Yeah, it's not
I
a
remember
Texas thing.
We got there and we were like, "Oh my gosh, we're so hungry. We need some food." And Andy was like, "I have some trail bologna and some crackers." And we were like,
Is it like
I
summer
don't know what that is.
sausage just from Ohio?
it is like,
"It's like cold hot dog."
yes, it's like giant
It's
cold
a Vienna sausage?
sausage.
No,
it's
it's
like a
bigger.
big summer sausage,
But it doesn't
it's bologna.
It's
It doesn't
a
taste like
tube of
summer
Spam?
It's a
bologna.
giant hot dog.
That ain't right.
And they eat it cold and it's sliced up in big like chunks like it's and then you eat it with
Okay,
like
I say
cheese
that's
and
not right,
crackers.
but I'm not going to lie. I'd totally eat that.
I do.
You would.
I mean,
You would. You would.
It's not awful, but after you eat a little bit of it, you don't want any more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You're done eating it.
It depends on how hungry you are. Is that what you're saying?
So I had no idea this is a thing, but then this year they had a Try My Baloney party. So people brought trail bologna from their neck of the woods. So there's like trail bologna with cranberries and trail bologna with habaneros and trail
This
bologna.
sounds like a 1960s or 1970s Jell-O cookbook.
It totally looked like that. And there was things that were more like summer sausage and all kinds of things. But then there was a few sweets because you got to have that,
Right.
you know.
I totally forgot my favorite thing at that party was praline. What's that?
Jalapeno praline.
Jalapeno pecan praline.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Was it like a crunchy, crispy sort of thing?
Yeah.
And
it was so good. And it stuck to your teeth.
Outside?
Yes. It was like, it was peanut brittle.
Okay, yeah.
Not praline. Sorry.
Oh.
It was brittle. It was peanut brittle, but it was like, it had like this crazy spice to it.
Nice.
But it was also sweet.
Nice.
It was so good. And it's from Texas. So I got to find it. Anyway.
Okay. So
I think Daphne brought that.
No, it was somebody else. She got on my golf cart later that night and she was bringing the leftovers to the Mandy and Kendrick talk. And she just kept feeding me as I was driving the golf cart.
Oh, wow.
Another perk of driving the golf cart.
Yes.
Can we just bring her here and we'll just drive her around and she'll feed us?
Are you listening? Who are you? I forgot.
We have golf carts.
But yeah, the Mandy and Kendrick talk was so fun. They recreated Family Feud.
So what does that mean? They recreated Family Feud.
Mandy and Kendrick put together this entire game show.
Okay.
You know, like how we tried to do at the Texas Time Show, but way better. So they did Family Feud and they got teams up and they played a game of Family Feud with camping questions that they had previously polled other people at their rallies.
Nice.
It was so fun. The audience was yelling and hollering and laughing, and it was raining and it was freezing. And then we shuttled everybody back in the rain, but it was so much fun.
Nice.
I thought that was awesome.
I thought that was really fun as well.
Were there talks, seminars, and things like that at this?
So many.
What kind of sticks out on that front?
I didn't attend. Maybe I attended one of them.
You were actually employed driving carts around too.
We were doing that, and we were, I don't know, there was always something to do, someone that I needed to talk to. And then, we do go up to the plant and meet with people there and do some things up there too. And I was kind of working, so I'd go up for a few hours and, kind of work on a computer, just a little of everything. But the talks that they had were, they would have bring your favorite gadget. And they had that chat and they had camper led chats like, what's it like to boondock? Mm-hmm. What's the things that you have to know if you want to try boondocking and you haven't done it before. And then they had camper specific ones. So it was kind of cool. So if you have a tag, you go to the tag one and it's basically just like a Q&A with new camp employees.
Okay.
So any questions about that unit. And then they had a tab one and then they had a 400 one. So I thought that was really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So that is
and you can only do something like that at a manufacturer thing. That won't make sense at other style rallies.
Right. And then they also had, factory tours. It was interesting. They closed the entire factory floor for a week during UCamp. And
which they haven't done the past years.
They have never done that. So all of the guys that were working on the floor were coming over and helping and serving food. And
they would have their front office do that before, right?
They'd have a handful of new camp employees, but a lot of it was their families and kind of outsource, like whoever cooked the food would obviously serve it. But I mean, they had steak and shrimp night and they had
that was the coolest thing to see.
Big green eggs out there with
10 in a row.
New camp employees behind the grills.
Oh, big green eggs. The deal. I was thinking they had ostriches running around. What is it?
And cooking steaks and shrimp.
And all but one of them were green.
Yeah. One of them was red. That was weird.
Yeah. One's red.
It's probably a Komodo. 9
were green. Yeah. But and there's an Amish group that cooks on the big green eggs and they did steak and seafood. And
I priced those recently. Those are expensive.
It was this huge cooking thing under the serving tent. And there was probably 50 people standing in line in the rain waiting for that as well, of course.
Yeah.
But and the food was so good.
The food was the best this year that it's ever been. I had so many people said that is the best steak and or shrimp they've ever had.
Really? That's saying something.
Really,
Mandy doesn't even like shrimp, and she was like, I had 2 servings.
Wow, what'd they do to the shrimp?
It was some kind of coconut chili lime.
Yes, I have had coconut encrusted and whatever, fried.
I don't know.
Whatever. Yep.
But then there was all kinds of cool things. There was the pizza night where they have this truck show up. Wasn't it pizza they had?
No, what are you talking about?
Well, what was the truck we went to that had something? Okay, I'm losing my mind. Maybe that was last year.
Definitely made an impression.
And then we had the truck that was getting breakfast ready.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we had a donut truck.
The donut truck, yes.
I heard the donuts are something else up there.
Yeah, they're pretty much, I don't know, what would you say? 8 inches in diameter?
They're huge.
Yeah. And they're not like cake donuts, but they are somehow more dense. Is that what I've heard?
I mean, I think it's pretty similar to Round Rock donuts.
No. Round Rock donuts are much lighter. This is like a muffin, like a really moist muffin.
So it is like a cake donut.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a giant donut with like lots of sugary grease dripping off of it. It's really good.
It's true.
So, and then they had, we left Thursday afternoon, but Friday morning they had the famous cinnamon rolls, which are pretty much as big as a large hamburger.
Been able to take more than 2 bites of that thing.
Huge.
Well, 2 bites?
It's too sweet.
Too sweet, too rich?
The donut, I can eat like, I don't know, half of it.
Yeah.
The cinnamon roll, it gets me. It like just
every time you two come back from this event, I just get this picture of the hardiest ways to cook anything. Like there's lard in everything, or there's something heavy and rich in everything is what I pick up. And carbs.
Well, I didn't understand what a haystack breakfast was, and no one could explain it to us.
So Nate explained it to me.
What did Nate
I asked him too. I was like, Nate, what does haystack breakfast mean? And he was like, you put something on the bottom, like usually eggs or potatoes, and then you put something on top of that, and you put something on top of that, and you put something on top of that. And I was like, oh, so it looks like a haystack. And he was like, yeah, but you don't have to put everything on top of each other. You can do it all separate if you want. And I was like, oh no, I'm haystacking this breakfast.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you? Because I'm doing
this right. When in Ohio.
It sounds like a skillet minus the skillet.
As Ohioans do.
It was pretty much like every breakfast food ever in some sort of casserole form, and you just made your own 9-layer bean dip with breakfast food.
I would do it. It was good.
I'm game.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If gravy's involved.
Was gravy?
We're good. Oh yeah. I mean, there's
totally involved.
You put like the potatoes and then the eggs and cheese and sausage
mix, the coconut.
And then you do the biscuits and the gravy, and then you add more cheese, and then there was like a yogurt parfait. You put that on the side.
Yes. And we have taken a turn.
But anyway, the thing that I thought was the very best this year that they've ever done, and I just want to go on record, thank you for not running out of coffee at 10 o'clock. Because especially when it's cold, I needed coffee until like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And they had coffee.
Well, look at us. It's almost 2 in the afternoon. We're drinking coffee right now.
We're drinking coffee. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just so nice when you're camping to have all that provided. Sure. The food was really good. I ate absolute too much.
Okay. This is obviously a new camp event, but if we widen the scope, who else does something like this well? This on your radar? I know that there's at least one A-liner event every year. I know that there's a group of Lance owners that do something like this. There's probably, I know there's casita groups. There's bound to be Airstream, several events.
Oh,
Airstream.
yeah.
But who does it this well?
Yeah, you know, this is going to sound terrible, but we have never attended another manufacturer rally, and I'm not sure we've ever been invited, although if we invited ourselves, they probably would let us go. But I don't know. I've been to other A-liner rallies, but not the national one that they do. But
well, what have you heard? Like word on the street sort of thing?
I think seminars are generally a good thing, and there's a few meals thrown in.
Yeah.
I think part of what makes this so special is that the üCamp people, they're just so unique. I mean, we had giant campfires with literally a band playing all night long.
But they aren't actually band. They're just people.
It's just whoever shows up. They all get up there. They take turns playing their song, and the other group, part of the group, plays along. That was super fun, and that went on for 3 or 4 hours every night. But I mean, we had the shark lady. Her entire camper is decorated with sharks.
She said it's great. It's white. It's my great right sharky. And so her whole trailer is sharks. And then she had a table outside with like a little thing that you could hold up and it looked like you were being eaten by a shark to take your picture. And then she had like shark gummies and shark candy necklaces and shark squirt guns that you could get.
That's funny.
And then
she's her own sideshow.
And then she had a bowl of Dum-Dums, and Lindsay said, "What's this?" And she said, "Dum-Dum. Dum-Dum. Dum-Dum."
Come on.
Dum-Dum.
Dum-Dum.
Yeah, I didn't do it right.
Yeah, you really didn't.
I was hoping someone would jump in, and no one did.
I didn't.
Because I wasn't sure I could do it well. But
listeners, please
you get the idea.
Jaws theme.
All right, you got the idea.
She was so fun, though.
Da-dum. That was the Jaws thing. Da-dum.
Yeah.
I don't watch enough TV. But I mean, then there was the trailer that is tie-dyed. The entire trailer is a ta-da, and if you don't know what a ta-da is,
look it up. They don't make it
You should
anymore.
look it up. They're spectacular, and the whole thing is tie-dyed,
inside and out.
Yeah, literally everything.
That would be really cool for me to look at. I don't think I could be around it for too long. It would overwhelm me.
And then there's Daphne and Mark's trailer. I mean, it's just whoa to look at. It's stunning with like the red graphics and red awning, and then you have like this red table, and everything is just so, I don't know. And it's like Insta party.
But Daphne also is like the red will match.
And everything matches. Everything is designed perfectly.
And it looks, exactly. It looks so clean and perfect. Like it's all just like
and in
made
that setting
for each other.
Where it's green soft grass and
maybe that's why it looked so extra good.
It's just like the bar set up on the side of the trailer where she's serving all of these like from scratch brownies that she just cooked. I mean, who can't just admire that? And then so many trailers and everything matches. Everywhere you look, there was something cute. There was amazing graphics on the back. Everybody has something.
It was decal heaven. It was
something
so cool.
out there on their trailer, and everybody kind of had this unique personality.
This also sounds a little bit like the atmosphere that you get at a really well done like classic car show too. Because everyone kind of has their thing that they've been working on putting together, and they're shiny, and this is the right setting, and people who are enthusiasts are all there, and it feels like it has some of that, whatever that special thing is.
Yeah, a little bit of that, but I think at a car show they don't like have a matching tent with little party lights that are, themed lights with little matching ice makers. I was blown away at how many people had matching ice makers to their trailer.
A ton.
Like almost everybody. Just all kinds of cool things. So, and everybody's just kind of hanging out together. And
it's Glampville.
Yeah, kind of. It's more Funkyville more than anything. But there isn't like slots like you have in most campgrounds. It's kind of like a big field.
Okay.
Yeah, and people are just camped all different ways.
Nobody's in trouble walking through someone's campsite because you have to get to the next one or wherever you're going. So people are just wandering through this field of campers. I don't know. It's just so nice to see everybody, chat with them, and just hang out. Just hang out.
Well, I mean, is this year 4 that you've attended, the two of you?
This is my third year.
Third?
But I think it's your 4th or 5th.
Might be I don't know.
Well, I mean,
have you never been to üCamp?
No, I've been to üCamp as a factory on a number of occasions.
I thought you went to üCamp once.
No. So now that you have the barefoot, are you actually going to take a day off early in the future and take your barefoot up there?
Up there?
I don't know if I'll do that. Well, but they're going to...
to camp for next year.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have another barefoot for you to camp in.
I don't know. What he's explaining is that I did buy a barefoot trailer that üCamp makes because I have been a huge fan and really pushed to build this for like 4 years now. And so I bought one and they were going to ship it to me about a month ago. And I said, hold on to it. I can camp in it. It was so spectacular.
Yeah.
What a great time I had doing that. There was a part of me that wanted to just check out and go sit in my camper, but I didn't do that. So it'll ship down here within the next 3 or 4 weeks whenever there is a load to come down. And then I'll get it all set up. And I don't think I'll probably drive it up there, but I wouldn't rule it out. You never know. Circumstances might permit. But they might have another one for me to stay in. They always provide us with a camper to stay in. They have something at the factory. But man, it was every bit as awesome as I expected.
Are you good? Lindsay, what were you camping in?
Tab CS, which I've never camped in before. I've done a Tag and I've done a Tab 320, but never done Tab CS. And
we've camped in a 400.
Is too short for me.
Oh, is it? Oh, because of the outdoor kitchen taking up the space.
Yeah, I mean, I decided it's too short for me, but it was it was comfy and cozy and I loved it.
But it's not your next trailer, huh?
It's not my next trailer. I'd much rather have a S than a CS.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Very nice. Very nice.
What was your favorite part of üCamp? Go.
One thing that was my favorite, I would have to say hanging out at the campsites and talking to people. That is the best part. You get to be, there was a time 3 or 4 years ago that I felt kind of separate, because I'm a dealer and they're like, oh, where are you camping? You try to get to know people. They don't know what to say to you. You're a dealer.
It is weird.
But this time I felt like I had talked to those people over the years a couple of different times and I was just one of the gang.
Yeah.
And so sitting down, having a drink, doing nothing. Somebody say, hey, PJ, I got some red wine here. You want some? Or I'd say, well, I don't have a cup. And they'd say, hey, George, get PJ a cup. Oh, okay. I mean, just being part of the fabric of the group was awesome.
Cool.
It was just awesome.
All right. Well, Lindsay, go.
I think my favorite part was... definitely the people. Maybe all the dogs.
Oh
man. There were so many dogs. Like Dog City. And it was fun.
And usually there's a lot of little ones and a few big ones.
There was a lot of big ones.
And this was all big ones.
Really? It was
a few little ones.
Yeah. Dogs are awesome.
For a company that makes typically smaller side of the camper world, that's saying something.
It is. Lots of big dogs.
I always want to know, did any Cirruses show up for this? Please say yes.
Somebody was staying in a Cirrus. Oh.
Who was that? Tanner.
But that was Tanner.
Okay.
Somebody from üCamp stayed in their Cirrus that they own.
Cirrus owners, you need to go to this, I think.
I think there was a Cirrus at the other, because there's a Timbercrest. There's another campground for like overflow. And I think there was a Cirrus over there, or maybe... I feel like I saw one at some point.
Okay.
But yes, we do need more Cirrus owners up there. That'd be fun.
Maybe there's a way to because you said that there are trailer type specific like seminars and all that. Maybe there's a way to reach out and bring the Cirrus group in. I know truck camper owners, the truck camper community is different than the trailer community, but this is about the family built around the brand, the manufacturer. And I think that tiny trailer people are going to be interested in the truck camper world.
Tiny trailer people and truck camper people,
they're closer than they think they are.
They have a lot in common.
Yeah.
So if you've never heard of üCamp, if you have a üCamp trailer, I think they said the next one is June 10th. But it sells out in like 30 seconds once the tickets go on sale.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
good luck.
I don't know how it quite works. I think you can sign up and then be in a lottery and then somehow get
That's part of what makes it such a special deal is
it is tough to get in, and they have had to come up with some ways to make it to make it a little more universal that way. So it is tough to get in. I don't think we need to be recruiting Cirrus people because they probably want to get in. It's just a smaller percentage of what they sell. So it was so much fun.
Cirrus people, I still want to recruit you, and I've never been.
It was an honor to be there, and we would just like to thank UCamp and NewCamp for including us every year.
Absolutely. And we decided that next year, all 4 of us are going.
This is the first I've heard of this.
Well, we're helping you out here by telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you a year in advance. How much more do you need?
But how am I going to plan my family trip during the same week so the dealership is without all of us again? Well, I mean,
it'll be without all. It's so much to do and see, and so many places to be at one time.
I have too many friends at NewCamp. I'd spend all my time with my friends.
Well, we spent an entire day. I spent an entire day behind Andy's desk with my feet propped up on his desk, eating his potato chips out of the drawer.
Not an entire day, but a little bit of a day for sure.
Most of the day, and writing on his whiteboard, Princess Craft rules.
and then Scott walked in and said, "What are the Princess Craft rules?" And we're like, "No.
Poor lovable Scott." He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but it was great fun. Do you know Lindsay has never seen the giant cuckoo clock that is in Sugar Creek downtown?
Man, I took video of it and everything.
I know. I've seen everybody's videos of it. I don't need to see it in person.
You do, because you cannot get the crazy, awful irony of it unless you're standing in front of it. And it goes for like 15 minutes.
I know. I watched the whole dang video.
Oh my gosh. Make it stop.
I totally want to go see that. That sounds great.
We have to take her.
I'm down. It just hasn't worked out like with the schedule of.
Yeah.
They do have a cuckoo clock. Is it cuckoo clock? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Cuckoo swarm.
Yes, a swarm where everybody goes for 15 minutes and takes a picture.
And they all wear the brightest, craziest shirts possible.
Okay.
Yes. And they all go take a picture.
Man, there was no one there when I was there.
And we have never gone and done that at UCamp.
Because it's either like at the beginning when we're not there yet, or this time it was the day we left.
Sure.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. So everyone, there's a vote. If you're a NewCamp aficionado, try to get into the next UCamp.
And while we were at UCamp, you went to where?
Davis Mountains State Park. It's a Texas state park in West Texas, just north. I say just north. It's an hour or so more drive from the northern part of Big Bend National Park, but it's West Texas. It's high, it's mountainous, it's dry, sun is out. But I'm telling you, I went for stars. So I looked at the lunar calendar to see when the moon would be of little effect on the night sky, because my kids are of an age where they can start having their mind blown by stars. So I went for stars, but I also went for sunrises and sunsets and hikes and motorcycling through the winding passes. We saw wildlife, javelina, aoudad, snakes, birds, birding paradise. I don't know what birds I saw, but I saw a lot of different types of
because
really
it's
cool
kind
birds.
of desert out
Very
there.
much so.
I wouldn't think you would have that many birds. There's hardly any trees.
Well, in the Davis Mountain State Park, you're real close to, some runoff areas and some springs. So I was surprised at the amount of actual decent sized trees you'd be around. Sure, it was dry. Absolutely a dry place, arid place. But you'd have these pockets of places that look like where I grew up, South Texas, just because there was just enough water. But the wildlife was amazing. And you knew that they were there, but they were there at night. It was a neat place. Lots of history out there. lots and lots of history of the expansion of the U.S., of Texas history, Mexican history, the CCC history, huge out there in that area.
Fort Davis,
the Buffalo Soldiers, because
Fort Davis,
it's Fort Davis. So going out there and hearing the history of Fort Davis, which, like I said, crisscrosses the past with the amazing impact of the Buffalo Soldiers and whatnot. Civil War time period history. There's so much going on in West Texas that you can connect to. And I might say it's also easy to find ice cream every single day if you want it.
Isn't it crazy how much ice cream is out there? And fudge.
Yeah.
Ice cream and fudge. It is so crazy how much is out there. Yeah. But how hot was it?
It was easily in the upper 90s to lower hundreds every day. And this is a mid part of June. However, not humid. Not humid.
Still.
No.
It's hot.
I know, but not humid.
Oh,
Don't you know it's not the heat, it's the humidity.
And it is a world of difference. I could be outside all day, as evidenced by the sunburn.
Yes, and you have a nasty shoulder.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, do not show that.
Whew. So at any rate, I will go there again.
Yeah, I was surprised how much I enjoyed. I was there recently, how much I enjoyed Fort Davis, because it isn't just a plaque and a little building with pictures. It is like the whole thing has been
so well
preserved.
Yeah.
And what wasn't preserved well was recreated. Yep. And you get to know all the people that were there. You can walk the grounds, go in all the buildings.
Yes. It's a real good immersive experience.
Really very cool.
You feel so in a different time and different world in a place like that. And all of West Texas is a Western movie.
And that's true.
Mean, you walk
that is
around,
exactly what it feels like.
This is a dusty, hot Western movie. And it's cool for a while. I want to do every season out that way because I've done the early part of summer now. I want to see what the other seasons are like out there because it's got to be amazing.
Well, I have heard the desert flowers are amazing too down there. So never seen it, but I don't know. I think I'll skip the summer down there. It is just way too hot for me.
Brutal.
Yeah. So you were in the 100-degree weather in West Texas, where it's totally dry, almost zero humidity, and we were up in the green, wintry 45-degree rain.
Yeah. And what can we report?
In
it's
Ohio.
Beautiful in both places.
Yeah.
It was an experience.
We had a blast
in both places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a blast both times.
That's true.
My kids, my family, they are all about West Texas right now. The McDonald Observatory, y'all, that is a place I've wanted to go for years. And it was just a short drive from the state park I was in. And what an experience to be in the middle of these amazing telescopes. And y'all, in a year's time, they're going to have another telescope and it's going to be the biggest of its kind in the world. And they're going to open it up. They're hoping in a year. And I might go again for that.
Well,
maybe it'll be big enough to see the flag on the moon.
Yeah, that was the question we had for Google yesterday. And there is not a telescope big enough to see any of the flags on the moon. So,
which is upsetting to me.
We're kind of waiting for that.
I bet this next one could do it.
I'm so excited. I want to go.
I bet it could. But it's, of course, designed for much further. So,
well, it is a great trip to go through West Texas, through Fort Davis, through the mountains, down through McDonald Observatory, and then Balmorhea, which is
I swam there.
Beautiful, like natural swimming pool. It's just awesome.
The water comes up from the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
And it's all runoff, but it's a spring-fed pool. It's cold. You're swimming with the fishes, y'all.
You feel like you're in some oasis somewhere.
There's
it's
turtles.
Just crazy.
You can scuba dive. You can snorkel. There's diving boards all around. And I rode on the motorcycles of my father-in-law, a 72-mile loop, the Davis Mountain Scenic Loop. There are few drives like that in Texas, and there's some good drives in Texas, but there are few like that one.
It's beautiful. But then you're just right down the road from Big Bend, and we all know how great that is. So for that kind of country, even if you're not a desert fan, that trip down through West Texas and back is just one way to learn how to appreciate that area of the country.
Yes.
And there is nothing like it. It's amazing. It's amazing. So I'm glad you got to do that. I'm glad we got to go to UCamp. And now we're back in Austin in this really hot, above 100-degree weather with plenty of humidity for weeks on end. So,
now I hear I have some more vacation time. I'm out.
I think we need to get one of those plastic kiddie pools and put them out on the patio in front of the front door, and we can all just kind of sit in it and splash around every now and then during the day.
Some of those little water cannons that you find at all these splash pads for the kids. Let's just mount those randomly around, and we'll just be like water cannon people. They won't appreciate it. Just each other. Fine.
Well, maybe we just need
to get on the roof and
put misters everywhere.
Yeah.
And we'll all just sit under misters all day. It's hot. But we had a good week last week, right?
It was so good, y'all. It's summertime. Whatever time you're listening to this, go somewhere neat. This everywhere. Go somewhere.
Just go somewhere. So all this time we talked about not planning our trips. We went on trips and we had a great time. So that was awesome. Check the show notes. You'll see some pictures.
There it is. Are you done? Are you quite done?
Lindsay was done a while back.
Are you done?
You can check our socials at RV Small Talk. Check us out on Princess Craft or sorry. Okay, let me start over. On Facebook, it's RV Small Talk and RV Small Talk Community, where we love when you guys post your trips, your rigs, your questions, your mods, all that fun stuff. Joining the community and get some cool ideas or share where you're camping. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.